Mr. Chairman, I'd like to note that I too share the gentleman from Massachusetts' desire to balance the budget, and hope that I could continue to serve here alongside with him to ensure that we get that budget balanced. And today, I would like to use the same card slot as him, and we can both vote for a balanced budget amendment today. There's some statistics I think that are important. There was a recent study that showed that if you are employed, that the average pay in the exploration and production side of the oil and gas industry, the average pay per employee is $2,000 per week. It's $104,000 a year by my math. If you are in the refining, if you're downstream, the average pay is $1,750 per week. That's $91,000 a year. If you're in the pipeline industry, the average pay is $1,500 per week, $78,000 a year. Now, if you're lucky enough to be in those industries and enjoy those jobs and enjoy those wages, that means that you are now in the top 25% of wage earners in this country. Now, isn't that what we're about? Isn't that what America is about? And yet, this week, the president destroyed 20,000 of those pipeline jobs by not allowing the Keystone Pipeline to move forward. Mr. Peter, you live here in D.C.?
Mr. Chairman, Representative Landry, I do not. I live in Alaska and have for quite a long time.
Now, how long did it take you to get from Alaska to here?
10.5 hours.
On an electric plane or a...
Oh, it was a plane, and I'd make the trip often.
Well, I can tell you that I haven't been able to find one of those planes we can plug in yet, or whether we can put those solar panels on those wings to fire up those turbine props that allow you the luxury to come down here and testify before us.
Or perhaps we ought to work on that.
And so until you can get us to that point, I think that it's prudent of us in this country to allow us to use the resources that we have here. You know, the shame of it is that right now, I'm so mad because right now we are exporting our cheapest form of energy. We're becoming a net exporter of natural gas while we import the most expensive form of gas, form of energy. Americans should be outraged. And Senator, I apologize that Congress has allowed itself to just take certain states who don't want to drill, and I respect that. If a state does not want to drill off their coast, I respect that. But if a state comes to Congress and says, this is our plan, and this is what we would like to do, Congress should weigh heavily on what on the decisions that state makes. So I apologize to you for Congress not respecting the state of Virginia's plan to drill off its coast. I support it. And of course, I guess my question is actually to Mr. Peter. Do you know another industry that has average pay of the numbers that I put before you earlier?
I do, Mr. Chairman, Representative Landry. I think everyone on Wall Street. Everyone
in Wall Street. That's okay. And let me ask you, how much does Wall Street fuel your plane?
Wall Street sure increases gas prices, I can tell you that.
Wall Street increases gas prices. The last time I checked, it's called supply and demand.
And it's
a supply and demand curve. And look, if you feel that Wall Street is making too much money, then go over to the Financial Services Committee, okay? But you know what? Americans right now are paying through their wallets at the gas pump. Today, in November, when gas prices are supposed to be going down, what do you think the gas price is going to be in May? And you know, if we just keep kicking this can down the road, the price is going to just go up and up and up. And the economy will continue to be smothered. So I suggest that you take a good hard look at your neighbor next to you who lived lived in Alaska all his life, like you did, and respect his position, and respect the people who are making our energy, the people who allowed you to get in that plane and go from Alaska all the way to Washington, D.C. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.